To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. To die, to sleep, no more. By a sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. This is a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep, perchance to dream. There is the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when I have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give me pause. There is the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For would I bear the weeps and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes, when I myself might my quietus make with a single blade? Who would fardels bear, to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death? The undiscovered country, from whose bourne no traveller returns, puzzles the wheel and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of. Thus, this conscience makes a coward of myself.
Though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and that it us befitted to bear our hearts in grief, and the entire members of our companies to be contracted in one brow of woe. Yet so far has discretion fought with nature that we with wisest sorrow think on him, together with remembrance of ourselves.
Now follows that you know Fortinbras Investment Company holding a weak supposal of our worth, or thinking by our late dear brother's death our state to be colleagued with the dream of his advantage, they had not failed to pester us with message importing the surrender of our profits, those vast countries gained by all bonds of law by my dear brother. So much for him. Now our business is, Mr. Laertes has sued Fortinbras Company's unrighteous strategy. We shall demand a fair retribution for their attempt to take over our investments in Colombian oil companies and Bolivian mines of coal. We await your signature, young Hamlet.
That these two solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a view. Or that the law had not fixed his canon against self-slaughter. Wealth. How weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fie on it, fie. This is an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross, and only nature possesses them. That it should come to this. But 2 months death, nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a man that was to my uncle what Gandhi and King to Hitler. So human, so loving to my mother. Must I remember? Why, she would hang on him, and yet within a month, a little month. Why she, even she, oh God, married to my uncle, that beast that lacks discourse of reason. Now the salt of her most hypocritical tears had left the flushing in her gold eyes. My mother married. Oh, most wicked speed, to pose with such dexterity to ancestral sheets.
I think I saw him yesterday night.
So? Who?
My lord, Mr. Hamlet, your father.
President? My father.
Season your admiration for a while with an attent ear till I may deliver this marvel to you.
Let me hear.
In the dead, vast and middle of the night, two of my friends were encountered by a figure like your father, wearing at point exactly. He appears before them and with solemn march goes slowly and stately by. Thrice he walked by their oppressed and fear surprised eyes, and almost to jelly my friends stand dumb and speak not to him. Then I, with them on the third night kept the watch, where, as they had delivered both in time, form of the thing, each word came true and good. The apparition comes. I knew your father. These hands are not more like.
But where was this?
My lord, upon the platform of the graves.
Did you not speak to it?
I did, but answer made it none. And yet, once methought it lifted up its head and did address itself to motion like as it would speak. But even then the morning cock crew loud, and at the sound it shrunk and hasted away and vanished from our sight.
It's very strange.
As I do live, my honored lord, 'tis true. And I did think it written down in our duty to make you know of it.
Indeed, sirs. But this troubles me. Are you going there again tonight?
I warrant I will.
Whether that ghost assumes my noble father's person, I'll speak to it. For hell itself should gape and bid me hold my peace. I pray you both, if you have hitherto concealed this sight, let it be tenable in your silence still. And whatsoever shall happen tonight, give it an understanding, but not tongue. I will requite your loves.
Perhaps he loves you now, and now no soil nor court'll do besmirch the virtue of his will. You and your offspring must fear him. Your heart is fair, and the canker galls the infants of the spring too oft before their buttons be disclosed. Keep your love in the rear of your affection.
I will the effect of this good blessing keep as watchman to my heart, but, good my brother, do not, as some ungracious republicans do, show me the steep and thorny way to heaven, was like a puffed and reckless libertine himself the primrose path of dalliance treads, and recks not his own reed.
But before you're leaving, keep these few precepts in your memory.
Most humbly do I make my leave, my lord.
He had of late made many tenders of his affection to me.
Affection?
I don't speak like a green girl unsifted in such perilous circumstances. I do believe his tenders.
I don't know what I should think.
Father, we have decided to marry in honorable fashion.
Aye, fashion you may call it. Go to.
I know when the blood burns, how prodigal the soul and the tongue vows. These blazes, father, give more light than heat, indeed. I haven't taken them for fire. From this time, I will be scanter to Hamlet in our nightly parting. His entreatments will be placed at a higher rate than a command to parley. For Hamlet believes so much in him that he is so young that desire alone can unfold his promises. I don't believe his vows, for they are brokers, mere beggars of unholy suits. But I would be better to beguile. This is for all. I would not, in plain, give more favors to Hamlet until the purpose of my memory be assured by his demand.
The air bites surely. It is very cold. What hour now? No, it's a stroke. My uncle to wake up tonight and takes his rose. Gives wassail, and the swaggering up spring reels. And as he drains his draughts of greenish down, the cattle drum and trumpet does break out the triumph of his flesh. Oh, Mary, it is. But to my mind, though I am alien here and not to the manner born, it is a custom more honored in the breach than the observance. This heavy head spinning east and west makes us target and comment of other nations. They clap us drunkards, and with Swedish phrase they accuse of drogaddiction. Indeed, it takes from our income, though performed at height, the pitch and marrow of our taxes. Be thou spirit of health or goblin damned, be thou intense, wicked, or charitable, thou comest in such a questionable shape that I will speak to thee. I call thee Hamlet, the man, the father, the trustee. Answer me! Let me not burst in ignorance, but tell me why thy canonized bonds have burst their sermons. What may this mean that thou, dead corpse, again in complete cotton, revisits thus the glimpses of the moon, making night hideous? And we, fools of nature, so horridly to shake our disposition with thoughts beyond the reaches of our minds. Say, why is this? Wherefore? What should we do?
I think you should go away to you alone.
Not go with him.
No, by no means.
It will not speak. Then I will follow it.
Do not, my lord.
Why? What should be the fear? I do not set my life in a pin's fee, and for my soul, what can it do to that, being a thing immortal as itself? It waves me forth again. I'll follow it.
What if it tempt you to the flood, my lord, or to the dreadful summit of the cliff that beetles over his face into the sea, and there assumes some other horrible form which might drive you into madness and deprive you of your sovereignty of reason? Think of it. The very place puts toys of desperation, without more motive, into every brain that fathoms to the sea, and hears it roar beneath.
Waves me still. I'll follow thee. Where wilt thou lead me? Alas, poor ghost! Ophelia, in thy future pleasures be all my lacks remembered. Can I lie again in your lap?
Your head upon my lap?
I don't mean country matters. My only fair thought is to lie between your legs.
What is this? You are too merry today, Hamlet.
Who? I? You're only a jig maker? What should a man do but to be merry? With my double all embraced, my stockings fouled, ungartered, and down give to my ankle, pale as my shirt, my knees knocking each other, and with a look so piteous in purport, as if I had been loosed out of hell to speak of horrors.
Something have you heard of Hamlet's transformation? I entreat you both, the being of so young days brought up with him, and sit so neighborhood to his youth and behavior, that you vouchsafe your rest here a little while in Philadephia, and by your companies to draw him on to pleasures, and to gather as you may glean, whether aught to us unknown afflicts him thus, that open lies within our remedy.
I hope our visitation will receive such thanks as fits a tycoon's remembrance.
Thanks, Rosencrantz and gentle Guildenstern. Where love is great, the littlest doubts are feared. Where little fears grow great, great love grows there.
He thinks, or else that brain of his hunts not the trail of policy so sure as it has used to do, that he has found the very cause of my lunacy.
You are still the father of good news.
Oh, speak of that I do long to hear.
First, let me inform you of our lawsuit against Fortinbras Investment. Hamlet's news shall be the fruits to that great feast.
How has he found the head and source of all my son's distemper?
I do not doubt that the main thing, his father's death and our o'er-hasty marriage.
The government has suppressed Fortinbras Company's interests in Bolivia and Colombia, which appeared to our Minister of Businesses to be a preparation against Greek multinational companies. But, better looked upon, he truly discovered that it was against Elsinor Investments. Fortinbras trustees, in brief, have been ordered to pay us $800 million in fines, and to make a vow before the court never more to attempt to undermine our interests in those lucrative countries by suborning their variable attorneys.
It likes us well.
A well-ended business indeed, my liege and madam. To expostulate on what majesty should be, what duty is, why day is day and night is night and time is time, were but to waste night, day, and time. And since brevity is the soul of wit, and tediousness the limbs and outward flourishings, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad.
More matter with less art.
That he is mad, it's true. It's true, it's pity. And pity, it's true. A foolish figure. But farewell it, for I will use no art. Mad, let us grant him then. Now remains that we find out the cause of this effect, or rather say, the cause of this defect. For this effect defectives comes by cause. Thus it remains, the remainder thus, perpend. I have a daughter, a psychologist in this enterprise, who, in her duty, has given me this.
To the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia.
It is an ill phrase, a vile phrase. Beautified is a vile phrase, but you should hear more, thus.
In her excellent white bosom.
Came this from Hamlet to her?
Stay a while, good madam. Machines are faithful.
Doubt that the stars are fire. Doubt that the sun do move. Do, but never doubt I love. Oh, dear Ophelia. I'm ill at these numbers. I have no art to reckon my gross. Oh, most best, believe it. Adieu, thine evermore most dear lady, whilst this machine is to him Hamlet.
This has my daughter shown me, according to her professional responsibility. And she has more tapes of his soliciting as they fell out by psychiatric appointments, all given to her ear.
But how does she receive his love?
What do you think of me? I'd fain prove that I am your more faithful and constant laborer.
What can we think when you have seen this hot love on the wing? As I perceived it, I must tell you that.
What might you and my dear Claudius here think? That I have given my heart to noble winking, mute and dumb? Or looked upon his love with idle sight? What might you think? No, I went straight to work, and Ophelia has deemed Hamlet out of his star. This must not be. And so she decided to lock herself from his resort, date but other men, receive not his calls, which done, he, repulsed, a short tale to make, fell into a sadness, then into a fast, thence a watch, thence into a weakness, and by this declension, into the madness wherein now he raves, and we all mourn for.
Do you think on this?
It may be, very like.
Has there been such a time, I'd fain know, that Ophelia has positively diagnosed schizophrenia?
When it proved otherwise?
Not that I know.
Take this from this if it be otherwise.
How sadly you look reading.
You are a fishmonger.
Not I, my lord.
Then I wish you were so honest a man.
Honest?
Aye, sir. As this world goes, to be honest is to be one man picked out of 10,000.
That's very true, sir.
If the sun breeds maggots in a dead dog being a god-kissing carrion. Have you a daughter?
Yes, I have.
Let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing, but not as your daughter may conceive.
How say you by that? Still harping on my daughter. Truly in my youth I suffered much extremity for love. Very near this. What do you read, boy?
Words.
What is the matter?
Between who?
I mean, the matter that you read about a maggot.
Islande, sir, for matter says here that all men have grey beards, that their faces are wrinkled, their eyes porging, thick amber and plumtree gone, and that they have a plentiful lack of wit together with most weak hams.
Though this be madness, yet there is method to it. Will you walk along our river with us, my lord? Indeed it is. How pregnant sometimes his pauses are.
A happiness that often madness hits on, which reason and sanity could not so prosperously be delivered of.
You cannot, sir, take anything from me that I will more willingly part with all.
Except my life. Except my life. Except my life. These tedious old fools. Girls, how do you both?
As the indifferent children of the earth.
Happy in that we are not over happy. O fortune's cap, we are not the very button.
Nor the souls of her shoe?
Neither.
Then you leave about her waist, or in the middle of her favors.
Sure, her privates we.
In the secret parts of fortune, most true, she is a whore. What news?
None, my lord. The world grows honest.
Then doomsday is near. But I know your news is not true. What have you, my ex-lovers, deserved at the lands of fortune that he sends you to prison here?
Prison?
Pennsylvania is a prison.
Then the world is one.
A goodly one in which there are many confines, wards, and dungeons. Pennsylvania being one of the worst.
We think's not so.
Why? Then this is known to you? For there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. To me, it is a prison.
Bitterness makes it so. This is too narrow for your mind.
Oh, God. I could be bounded in a nutshell and count myself a king of infinite space. But it not that I have but dreams.
Which dreams indeed are greed. For the very substance of greed is merely the shadow of a dream.
A dream itself is but a shadow.
Truly. And I think greed of so light and airy a quality that it is but a shadow's shadow.
Then are our beggars shadows, and our judges, and outstretched investors the beggars' bodies. Shall we to the bank? For by my faith I cannot reason.
We'll wait upon you.
No such matter. I will not sort you with the rest of my guards. For to speak to you like an honest man, I am most dreadfully cared. But in the beaten way of friendship, what make you at Philadephia?
To visit you.
Beggar that I am even poor in thanks, but I thank you. And sure, dear to dear a halfpenny. Is it your own inclining? Is it a free visitation? Come, deal justly with me. Come, nay, speak. Why? Anything but to the purpose. You, whose modesties have not craft enough to color. I know the honors of the company, and it was the president, my uncle, who sent for you.
To what end?
That you must teach me. But let me conjure you by the rights of your fellowship, by the consonancy of our youth, by the obligation of our ever-preserved love, and by one more dear, a better proposer could charge you withal. Be even and direct with me whether you were sent for or no. Nay, then I have an eye of you. If you love me, hold not off.
My lord, we were sent for.
I will tell you why. So shall my anticipation prevent your discovery, and your secrecy to my step-parents won't be stained with treason. I have of late, but wherefore I know not, forgone all custom of my exercises, lost all my mirth, and indeed it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the earth. Look you, this brave overhanging firmament, this majestical roof fretted with golden fire. Why? It appears no other thing to me than a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. What a piece of work is a woman! How noble in reason! How infinite in faculty! In form and moving, how express and admirable! In action, how like an angel! In apprehension, how like a goddess! The beauty of the world, the paragon of animals. And yet to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Woman delights not me. No, nor men neither. Though by your smiling, you seem to say so.
There was no such stuff in my thoughts.
What then do you laugh when I say, Woman delights not me.
To think, if you delight not in woman, what Lenten entertainment the player shall receive from you. They have answered your demands to perform one of your poems.
After your death, you will better have a bad epitaph than my poetic ill report while you live. He that plays the old white straight male character shall be welcome. His beauty shall have tribute of me. The adulterer shall use his fallen target. The lover shall not cite gratis. The humorous man shall end his part in peace. The clown shall make those laugh whose lungs are tickled over the seer, and the lady shall say her mind freely. I know the players. Their need comes by means of the decline of theatre. My uncle father and my aunt mother are deceived. I am but mad northwest. When the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from a handsaw. This great baby you see here is not yet out of his swaddling clouds.
This is the second time come to them. For they say an old man is twice a child.
I will prophesy he comes to tell me of the players' market. I have news to tell you. When Grace was an actress in L.A.
All the actors have been paid.
On my honor.
Each actor will be gone on his ass.
The best actors on the East Coast, either for acting, comedy, horror, exotic, or melodramatic film. Wills cannot be too heavy, nor Chaplin too light.
Oh, Jephthah, father of Israel, what a treasure you have.
Who's Jephthah? What treasure?
A judge who sacrificed his daughter, the which he loved passing well.
Still on my daughter?
Am I not in the right, old Jephthah? You are welcome, masters. I'm glad to see thee well. Welcome, good friends. Oh, my old friend. Welcome all. Your face is hairy since I saw you last. Do you come to beat me in Valley Forge? We'll have a speech straight. With eyes like carbuncles, the hellish Pyrrhus, all Grand Seer Priam seeks. So proceed you.
My Lord God, Hamlet, well spoken, with good diction and good discretion.
Use every man after he desert, and who should escape whipping. The less they deserve, the more merit is in your bounty. Can we stage the murder of Gonzago?
Yes, my friend.
Well, next week we'll start rehearsals. You could for a need study a speech of some 12 or 16 lines, which I would set down and insert in it, could you not?
If our pay is reasonable, of course.
Mr. Polonius will persuade you indeed.
He does confess he feels himself distracted. But from what cause, he will by no means confess.
Although once we told him of certain players, he spoke well of cinema, and there did seem in him a kind of joy.
Drive his purpose on to these delights.
What a rogue and peasant slave am I. Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, could force his soul to his own conceit? That from his working, all his visage wan, tears in his eyes, distraction in his aspect, a broken voice, and his whole body suits with forms to his conceit. And all for nothing, for Hecuba. What is Hecuba to him, or he to Hecuba that he should wait for her? What would he do had he the motive and the cue for passion that I have? He would unbound the screen with sadness and clip the ear of the indolent audience with horrid speech. Make mad the guilty and appeal the free. Confound the ignorant, and amaze indeed the very faculties of eyes and ears. Yet I, a dull and muddy metalled rascal, speak like Jonah dreams and pregnant of my cause, and can say nothing. No, not for a father, upon whose property and most dear life a damned deed was made. Am I a coward? Who calls me villain, plucks off my beard and blows it in my face, takes me by the nose, gives me the lie in the throat as deep as to the lungs? Who does me this? Swoons. I should take it.
Remorseless, treacherous,
treacherous, treacherous.
Vengeance. Why, what an awesome I. Why, what this is most brave that I. This is most brave that I. Most like a whore and back my heart with words and fall a cursing like an paid drag queen. My uncle's employee. My uncle's employee. Oh, fight your need. Oh, fight your need. Fight.
I have heard that guilty creatures, sitting at the screening of the Passion, have, by the very forgiveness of the Lord, been struck so to the soul that presently they have proclaimed their malefactions. For murder, though it has no tongue, will speak with most miraculous organ. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father before mine uncle. I'll observe his looks. The spirit that I have seen may be a devil, but any man has power to assume a pleasing shape. And perhaps out of my weakness and melancholy, my friends oppress me with spirits to try my sanity. I'll have grounds more relative than these. The play will be the time wherein I'll catch the conscience of this crime.
I do wish Ophelia's will be the happy cause of Hamlet's wildness.
Ophelia will approach Hamlet in his affliction. With a lonely countenance, she will take his wishes.
I humbly thank you.
Well.
No, never I never gave you all. Take this again, for to the noble mind rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. Are you honest? Are you a mother? But if you are an honest mother, your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty. Honesty? Aye, truly. For the power of beauty will sooner transform honesty from what it is to abode, and the force of honesty can translate beauty into his likeness. This was sometimes a paradox, but now the time gives it proof. I did love you once. You should have not believed me. I did love you not. Indeed, you made me confess it. Get that bastard to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent honest, but yet I could accuse me of such things that it were better my mother had not borne me. I am very proud, revengeful, ambitious, with more offences at my back than I have thoughts to put them in. Imagination to give them shape, or time to act them in. The true such fellows as I do crawling between earth and heaven. We are knaves, all, believe none of us. Get him into a nunnery. Where is your father? If thou dost marry, I'll give thee this plague for thy dowry. Be thou chaste as ice, as pure as snow, thou shalt not escape calumny. Get him to a nunnery, go! If thou wilt marry, marry a fool. But wise men know well enough what monsters you make of them. To a nunnery, go! And quickly too! Farewell. I have heard of your paintings too, well enough. Nature has given you one face, and you make yourselves another. You jig, you amble, and you lisp, and nickname nature's creatures, and make your wantonness your ignorance. Go to. Go to. I know more on it. It hath made me mad. I say we will have no more marriages. Those that are married already, all but one shall leave. The rest shall keep as they are. To a nunnery, go.
Oh, what a noble mind is here o'erthrown. The smartest sportsman, soulmate, father, hard worker, student, high-tongued figure, expectancy and rose of this family company. Glass of fashion in the mold of form, the observed of all observers, quite down. And I of human beings most dejected and wretched that share the honey of musical vows, now see that noble and most sovereign reason like sweet bells jangled, out of tune and harsh, and feature of lone youth blasted with ecstasy. Oh, woe is me to have seen what I have seen. See what I see.
Love,
His affections do not that way incline, though when he spoke, though it lacked form a little, it was not like madness.
There is something in his soul over which his melancholy sits and brood.
And I do not doubt the hatch and disclose will present some danger, which for to prevent, I have in quick determination set it down. He shall with speed to Colombia, for the demand of our neglected tribute. Haply, the seas and countries with different objects shall expel this something settled matter in his heart, whereon his brain still beating puts him thus from fashion of himself. What think you on't?
Do as you please. But if you hold it fit, entreat him first to show his own grief to you. If you find him not, to Bucaramanga send him, or confine him to where our doctors best shall think it. Madness in great ones shall not unwatched go.
You spoke the speech as I pronounce it to you, trippingly, in the tongue. Were your mouth in the words as many privileged actors do, I would have had to hire a pop singer to perform my lines.
Didn't I saw the air too much with my hands?
Not at all, for in the very torrent, tempest, and as I may say, the whirlwind of passion, you acquired and begot a temperance that gave a smoothness to your movement. It offends me to the soul to hear a robustious model, to tear up passion to tatters, to very rags, to split the ears of the groundlings, who for the most part are incapable of nothing but inexplicable special effects and persecutions. Be not too tame neither.
I let my own discretion be my tutor, suiting my actions to my words, the words to the action.
With this special observance, that you overstep not the modesty of nature, for everything so overdone is from the purpose of playing, whose end at first and now was, and is, as it were, to hold a mirror up to nature, to show to virtue her own image, scorn her own future, and the very age and body of our time, his form and pressure. Now, this overdone, though it makes the unskillful laugh, cannot but make the judicious commentator grieve. The judgment of the which one must overweigh more in your whole career than a whole theater of uneducated fellows. Horatio! Yes, sweet friend. Thou art even as just a man as ever my conversation called withal. Observe my uncle.
Easy cult of guilt do not itself enkennel in one speech. It is a damned ghost that we have seen.
No news. Did you act the university you said?
Not did I. I was accounted a good actor. I did not act Julius Caesar. I was killed in the Capitol. Brutus killed me.
It was so brutal of him to kill so capital a calf dead.
You are not.
I cut the scene.
Oh, what a rash and bloody deed is this!
This film is brief.
That's women's law.
The mousetrap! I can interpret between you and your lover if I see the puppet's darling. It will cause you a groaning to take off my edge. His brother poisons him on his bed of matrimony for his estate. The poisoner gets the love of his wife. What? Someone rises. Frightened with false fire?
Did you dare?
So runs the world away.
Let's proceed.
Very well.
About the type of the poisoning.
I did very well note it.
Vouchsafe me a word with you.
Sir, a whole story.
Mr. Claudius.
Oh. Mr. Claudius. Sir, what of him?
Is in his retirement marvelous distemper.
With drugs?
No, youngster, rather with wrath.
Your wisdom shall signify far richer to show this to his doctor. Obey her, for she 10 times our mother.
My lord, he once did love me.
I do steal by these guns and bullets.
What is the cause of your temper? If you deny your grief to us, your friends.
He lacks advancement, sir.
How can that be? When you have the voice of your uncle himself and your inheritance for Elsinor.
I do not well understand that. Will you read upon this book?
No, I cannot.
I pray you.
Believe me, I cannot.
I beseech you.
I know no touch of it, my lord.
This is as easy as lying. Govern the characters with your eyes, and it will discourse the most eloquent music.
But these cannot I command to any utterance of meaning. I have not the skill.
Why? Look you now. How unworthy a thing you make of me. You would read upon me. You would seem to know my stops. You would play me from my lowest tone to the top of my compass. And yet there is so much music, so excellent voice in this little text. Yet you cannot read it. For Christ's wounds, do you think that I am easier to be read than a book? Call me the instrument you want. But you can fret me, you cannot read upon me. You won't block out the heart of my mystery.
Now could I drink hot blood
and do such bitter business as they would quake to look on. Soft. Now to my mother. O heart, lose not thy nature. Let not ever the soul of Nero enter this firm bosom. Let me be cruel, not unnatural. I will speak daggers to her, but use none. My tongue and soul in these be hypocrites. How in my words soever she be shunned, to give them seals never my soul consent. Now he's praying, and now I'll do it. And so he goes to heaven, and so I am revenged. That would be a scand. A villain kills my father, and for that, I, his sole son, to this same villain sent to heaven. Ah, this is hire and salary, not revenge.
I know not. Is it the bastard?
Oh, what a rash and bloody deed is this?
Bloody deed. Almost as bad, good mother, as kill a husband and marry to his brother.
As kill a husband?
Look here, and on that statue, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers. See, what a grace was settled in this brow. Bolivar's curls, the front of Alexander himself, and I like Washington, ready on command, a station like the herald Mercury, you lighted on a heaven-kissing hill. A combination and a form indeed, where every god did seem to set his seal, to give the world assurance of a man. This was your husband. Look you now what follows. Here is your husband, like a mildewed air blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Could you live to feed on this fair mountain and batten on this bigot? Have you eyes? You cannot call it love. Sense? Sure, you have. Else could you not have motion. But that sense is apoplexed, for madness would not err. Eyes without feeling, feeling without eyes. Ah, blush, where is thy shame?
Hamlet, speak no more. Thou turnest mine eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and grain spots as will not leave their tinct.
Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an insane bed, stood in corruption, hunting and making love over the nastiest tie.
Oh, Hamlet, speak no more. These words like daggers enter in mine ears. Hamlet, no more, my only son.
A murderer and a villain, a loser that is not 25 President Lord.
He was the vice of men.
Save me and hover over me with your wings. You heavenly guards, what would your gracious figure? Do you come your tardy sun to shine? That loves in time and passion. Let's go by the important acting of your dread command. Oh, say!
Do not forget. This visitation is but to wed thy almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy mother sits. A step between her and her fighting soul. Conceived in weakest bodies the strongest works.
How is it with you, lady?
Alas, how is it with you that you do bend your eye on vacancy, and with incorporeal air do hold discourse? Your bedded hair, like life and excrement, starts up and stands on end. Oh, gentle sun, upon the heat and flame with thy distemper sprinkle cool patience. Whereon do you look?
On him. Look how pale he glares. His form and cause conjoin. Reaching to stones would make them capable. Do not look upon me, lest with this piteous action you convert my stern effects. Then what I have to do will want true color. Tears, perchance, per blood.
To whom do you speak this?
Do you see nothing there?
Nothing at all. Yet all there is, I see.
Nor did you nothing here?
No, nothing but ourselves.
Why? Look you there! How it steals away. My father, in his habit as he lived. Look where he goes, even now, into the river.
This is the very coinage of your brain. This bodiless creation ecstasy is very cunning in.
Ecstasy? My pulse as yours doth temperately keep time and makes as healthful music. It is not madness that I have uttered. Bring me to the test, and the whole matter will reward which madness would gamble from. Mother, for love of grace, lay not that mattering unction to your soul, that not your trespass, but my madness speaks. It will but skin and film the ulcerous place, whilst rank corruption, mining all within, infects and sin.
Thou hast cleft my heart in twain.
Ah, throw away the worser part of it, and leave the purer with the other half. Good night. How can I repent? Our state will punish me with this and this with me, that I must be their scourge and minister. So again, good night. I must be cruel only to be kind. Let the blood-loser tempt you again to bed, pinch wanton on your cheek, call you his mouse, and let him, for a pair of rishy kisses, or paddling in your neck with his damned fingers, make you to ravel all this matter out, that I essentially am not in madness, but mad in craft. Break your own neck down. I must go to South America, you know that? There is letters sealed, my 2 schoolfellows, whom I will trust as I will others fanged, they bear the mandate. They must sweep my way and marshal me to knavery. Let it work. Good night, mother.
What have you done with the dead body?
Compounded it with dust where to eat is kin.
Tell us where it is, that we may take it thence and hide it to the law.
Do not believe it.
Believe what?
That I can keep your counsel and not my own. Besides, to be touched by a sponge.
What replication should be made by the son of the owner of the state?
Take you me for a sponge?
That sucks up the president's ass. His authorities, his rewards. But such officers do best service to the company at the end. It keeps them like an ape in the corner of his jaw. First mouthed, to be last swallowed. And when it needs what you have gleaned, it is but squeezing you, and sponge, you shall be dry again.
I understand you not, my lord.
I am glad of it. A knavish speech sleeps in a foolish ear.
You must tell us where the body is, and the president will protect you.
The president is a thing.
A thing?
Of nothing. Bring me to him.
How now? What hath befallen?
Where the dead body is bestowed, my lord, we cannot get from him.
Now, Hamlet, where is Polonius?
At supper.
At supper where?
Not where he eats, but where he is eaten. A certain convocation of political crabs are eating at him. Your crab is your only emperor for diet. We fat all creatures else to fat us. And we fat ourselves for maggots. You are a fat man. And your beggar is but variable service. 2 dishes, but to 1 table. That's the end.
Aye, aye.
A man may fish with the worm that hath eaten of Polonius, and eat of the fish that have eaten of that worm.
What dost thou mean by this?
Nothing but to show you how the body of Polonius may go a progress through the gaps of a beggar.
Where is Polonius?
In heaven, send him fighter to seek. If your messenger find him not there, take him in the other place by yourself. You may nose him as you go down the river into the sea.
Hamlet, this deed for thine especial safety which we do tender, as we dearly grieve for that which thou hast done, must send thee hence in fiery quickness. Prepare thyself to leave in 1 hour. Everything has been arranged for Bucaramanga.
For Bucaramanga?
Unless you wish to spend a present life, arbitrary madness gives not safety. Diseases desperate grown by desperate appliance are relieved.
For Bucaramanga?
Farewell, mother.
I'm thy loving father, Hamlet.
My mother! Father and mother are but man and wife, and man and wife are but one flesh. So, my mother!
Death be at your table!
Conceit upon her father.
You promised me to wed!
Calmly, good Laertes.
Pelican.
Señora, whose lives were these?
They were of Colombia, sir.
For which purpose they died, I pray you?
They fought against each other, sir.
Who commanded them?
Ambitious leaders who survived and preparing our another war.
Was this a revolution, señora, or were they fighting for some land?
Truly to speak, sir, and with no addition, they came to people this little patch of ground that has in it no profit but the name of living and surviving. Their owners tried in vain to sell this barren land that I would not farm unless hunger drives me to do so. Guerrilla settled it and bloody murder began. Kidnapping and never-ending slaughter have since then taken all this land.
This is Colombia, the most fierce battlefield. The impastum of much wealth and peace, which shows no cause without why man and woman die. How all occasions do inform against me and spur my dull revenge? What is a human being if his chief good and market of his time be but to sleep and feed? A beast, no more. A thought which, quartered, hath but one part wisdom and ever 3 parts coward. I do not know why, yet I live to say these things to do, sith I have cause and will and strength and means to do it. Examples gross as earth exhort me. Witness this slaughter of such mass and charge, led by corrupt leaders, whose spirit, with ambition puffed, makes mouths at the invisible event, exposing what is mortal and unsure to all that fortune, death, and danger dare, even for an eggshell. Rightly to be great is not to steer without great argument, but greatly to find quarrel in a straw when honour's at the stake. How stand I then that have a father killed, a mother stained, excitements of my reason and my blood, and let all sleep? While to my shame I have seen the death of peasants and soldiers amidst a poverty enlarged by my own family. 20,000 dead, which is not tomb enough and continent to hide the slain. From this time forth my thoughts be bloody or be nothing worth. When thou shalt have listened to this message, I'll be back to Philadelphia. After we landed in Bucaramanga, I heard a custom officer mumbling about us. Illegal drugs were discovered in my luggage, and by a letter signed by my uncle, lawyers were preparing my own death. more words to speak in thine ear that will make thee dumb. Yet are they much too light for the bore of the matter. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern cannot leave Colombia. Of them I have much to tell. Farewell.
There is a willow grows aslant a brook that shows his whole leaves in the glassy stream. There, with fantastic garlands, did she come of crow flowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples that liberal workers give a grosser name. But our cold maids to dead men's fingers call them. There, on the pendant boughs her coronet weeds clambering to hang, an envious sliver broke. When down her weedy trophies and herself fell in the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide, and mermaid-like, awhile they bore her up, which time she chanted snatches of old tunes, as one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature native and endued unto that element. But long it could not be, till that her garments, heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
Set despoiled on Philadephia. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes after so long time, when I shall first asking your pardon thereunto recount the occasion of my sudden and more strange return.
Lay her in the earth, and from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violets spring. I tell thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel shall my sister be when thou liest howling.
Farewell. I thought thou shouldst have been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride bed to have decked, sweet maid, and not have strewed thy grave.
As Bucaramanga was his faithful tributary, he prepared my flight in such a way that, taken by a foreign drug dealer, I was going to be put to sudden death. But instead, I paid a condemn I got after I confessed a false, hideous knavery.
Gilderstone and Rosencrantz, this they confessed as well.
Why, man? They did love to their employment. They are not near my conscience. They are the feed that their own insinuation grows. It is dangerous when the baser nature comes between the past and fell incest points of mighty opposites.
Why, what a kin is this?
He that hath killed my father and whored my mother, popped in between the election and my hopes, thrown out his angle for my proper life, and with such cosinage, is it not perfect conscience to quit him with this arm? And is it not to be done to let this canker of our nature come in further evil? It will be short. The interim is mine, and a man's life is no more than to say one. But I am very sorry, Horatio, that latest I forgot myself, for by the image of my cause I see the portraiture of his. I'll court his favours. But sure, the bravery of his grief did put me into a towering passion.
You are right, welcome back to the city of brotherly love.
Dost thou know this butterfly?
No, my good lord.
Thy estate is more gracious, for this is a wise to know you.
Sweet lord, if you are at leisure, I should impart a thing to you from your stepfather.
I will receive it, sir, with all diligence of spirit. Put your bonnet to his right use. It is for the head.
I thank your lordship. It is very hot.
Oh, believe me, it's very cold. The wind is northerly.
It is difficult indeed, sir, indeed.
But yet, methinks, it is very sultry and hot for my complexion.
Exceedingly. It is very sultry, as 'twere I cannot tell how. But your stepfather, he bade me signify to you that he has placed a great wager on your head. Sir, this is the matter.
I beseech you, remember.
Oh, nay, for mine ease in good faith. Sir, Philadephia loves laity, of very nice manners and great clothing.
What imports the denomination of this gentleman?
Of laities?
His purse is empty already. All his golden words are spent.
Of him, sir.
You are not ignorant.
I would you did, sir. Yet, in faith, if you did, it would not much approve me. Well, sir?
The trustee, your noble stepfather.
Is that it?
Oh, he has arranged a tennis game tonight at 7 in his garden in private between you and Laertes. He wishes your differences be eased with the painless emotions of a game.
He did comply with his dog before he sucked. Thus has he and any employee that I know only got the tune of the time and outward habit of encounter.
You'll lose that tennis game, my lord.
I do not think so. I shall win at the odds. Thou wouldst not think how ill all is here about my heart, but it is no matter.
Nay, good my lord.
It is but foolery. But it is such a kind of gain giving as would perhaps trouble a woman.
If your mind is like anything, obey it. I will forestall their repair hither and say you are not fit.
Not a whit. We defy augury. There is a special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, it is not to come. If it be not to come, it will be now. If it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all. Since no man has aught of what he leaves, what is it to live betimes? You most needs have heard how I am punished with sore distraction. But I have done that might your nature, honor, and exception roughly awake, I here proclaim was duty. Was it Hamlet wrong, Laertes? Never Hamlet. If Hamlet from himself be taken away, and when he is not himself does wrong, Laertes, then Hamlet does it not. Hamlet denies it. Who does it then? His duty. If it be so, Hamlet is of the faction that is wronged. His duty is poor Hamlet's enemy. Sir, in this audience let my disclaiming from a purposed evil free me so far in your most generous thoughts, that I have shot mine arrow over the house and hurt my brother. I'll be your racket, Laertes. In mine ignorance your skill shall, like a star in the darkest night, stick fiery off, indeed. No, by this hand. Very well, my lord. Your grace hath laid the odds on the weaker side. This is too heavy. Let me see another.
A villainy! A treachery!
The creep! And Venom too? Here, I challenge you to drink of your potion, thou incestuous, murderous, damned businessman! Is the union there? Follow that lascivious mother.
Heaven make thee free of it. I cannot but follow thee. I die, Horatio. Wretched mother, adieu. You that look pale and tremble at this chance, let it be. Horatio, I leave, thou leavest. Report me and my cause to the unsatisfied world.
As thou art a woman, give me the cup. Let go, by heaven! I'll have it.
Ah, good Horatio, what a wounded name. Things standing thus unknown shall leave behind me. If thou ever holds me in thy heart, in thy heart's core, absent thee from felicity a while, and in this harsh world draw thy breath in pain to see my end.